YouTube friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today I want to talk to you about jerkfish. Anyone who keeps cichlids or any kind of aggressive fish has had a jerkfish at some point. Interestingly enough, the jerkfish in this tank is not the one that you would think it is. It's actually other fish, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. If you like the content of this channel, hit that sub button, hit the bell so you get notifications, all right? And do comment below. I love reading your comments. I love reading the conversations that take place in the Convo Gang between you folks that comment below my videos, all right? So let's go ahead and get underway. Let's talk about the crop of jerkfish that are in this tank right here. All right. Most would guess, because of their reputation, that an Imbochromis venusus would be the definite jerk in this tank, but they'd be wrong. That's not the case. This venusus overall is actually pretty mellow. The Fusco is pretty mellow as well, so it's not the ones that are in the Nimbochromis. Certainly that eye biter has his moments and can be a bit of a jerk. Not the Fusco. Fusco tends to be mellow overall, but no, the jerk in my tank is someone you wouldn't expect. So who would think that a Protomelus, cousin to a Taiwan reef and a tangerine tiger, could be a total jerk? But that's what we have right here. This guy is big, he's heavy, he's thick, he's muscular, he's fast, and he's got a big chip on his shoulder. And anyone he can push around, he will. He is definitely the playground bully. And he definitely stays out of the way of the eye biter, the Fusco, and of course the venusus. But he really pushes around a lot of the other fish, in particular the super red empress and the redfin borlii quad that I have in there. He's a bit relentless with them. You know, the eye biter, you'd think the eye biter would be a jerk, and he can be a jerk. And as you can see here, he likes to assert himself and dart around a bit. Tends to harass the Malawi trout a bit, which is starting to actually become a bit bigger than he is. But you know, he'll carry on until the venusus has sort of had enough, and then the venusus will check him. We'll give him a little bit of a chase and just get him to calm down again. The venusus overall is, of course, the biggest and heaviest fish in the tank, and he is the referee. And if anyone starts to get too out of line, he'll go ahead and remind them who actually is large and in charge. In the meantime, we've got this guy here making life a bit difficult for the red empress and other fish in the tank that he tends to keep corralled off to one side. It's going to get pretty interesting when this living stony, who's always been pretty assertive, you can see here he's got a little color in his face. It's going to be pretty interesting watching him put on size and where he ends up in the pecking order. But there seems to always be a shuffle going on here. And of course, electric blues, they get pretty aggressive as well. This one you can see here is demonstrating some beautiful color. Picked him up over at CK's. Did a video on it. Video did pretty well. So it's very calm at the top, but it's very, very noisy just below the top spot. In particular with this Protomelus, what is often called a fire hap, who is making life very difficult for the red empress, for the also for the borlii, and anyone else that he can get over on. Those fish, including the trout, tend to live in a state of high anxiety, and yet at the same time they're still demonstrating decent color, as you can see here with the super red empress, despite always sort of being on the run from that fire hap, the Super Red Empress always is demonstrating exceptional color in the face, body, tail, beautiful markings on the dorsal. And you can see he's not really beat up much. So the chases are really more just to assert who's in charge and kind of keep them at bay so they don't really get maybe cut into his food or some sort of idea like that. Other fish, like this imperial tiger back there, and even to some degree this electric blue, have figured out a way to sort of stay off the radar. Same thing with this Taiwan reef. This is a very large Taiwan reef. He's actually the one on the logo of the channel. That was him when he was a baby. And of course, this Johnsonii, is also off the radar to a certain degree, even though he does get chased sometimes. So that's the jerkfish situation in this tank right here. Do you have a jerk in your tank? I want to hear about it in the comments below. Tell me. And what have you done to fix it? Did you have to move some fish around? Did you have to give some away? What was the outcome of your jerkfish situation? Mine seems to be holding a little bit steady. Fortunately, the Venusis is the boss, and he is relatively calm and tends to break up some of the fights when they get a little bit out of hand. And so for right now, it's a tolerable situation. Doesn't look like I'm gonna have to rehome or give away anybody or sell anybody. But at any rate, I'd love to hear your comments below. Be sure to rate and sub and all that good stuff. And stop by on Saturdays for the Cichlids and Coffee live stream. We get into some great topics with a great group of people, and I get to answer some of your questions live. And follow on Instagram if you can't get enough, ben.o.cichlid. And of course, we have a great Facebook group, great helpful people, and it's troll free. Be sure to answer all the questions so you can get in the group, and it's at ben.o.cichlid. All right, thank you for tuning in. You're always appreciated, my friend. That's it for me.